Hello and welcome to TYTSports. Britton Harden here as always, and we have a threesome. That's right. Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. Robert, how are you today, my friend?
I'm good. And you, Rick?
Doing well. Thank you once again for joining us. Britton and I will start with you. Miguel Cotto will be fighting Sergio Martinez. It will be the Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend, as he usually is accustomed to in New York. Is this going to be a test that we should not see from Miguel Cotto at this point in his career, or could this possibly save his career?
I think this is a very, very brave move for Miguel Cotto. I think that as a boxing fan, a boxing enthusiast, I'm really excited that they made this fight. This is one of the biggest fights that can be made for the calendar year 2014. And, you know, I think that it's a proper test. I think that both men at the stage that they're in their career, they kind of mirror each other, not necessarily in style, but in what they bring to the table.
Robert, as we know, Miguel Cotto is going to move up in weight a little bit. And obviously, to what Britton said, they both have very fine resumes. But if you were the Cotto camp, is this going to be the one fight that could certainly turn the page on the losses to Floyd Mayweather and Austin Trout?
I mean, it will be his first fight at middleweight. If he wins it, he'll be a quote-unquote historical figure, because he'll be the first Puerto Rican champion ever to have held titles in 4 different weight classes. So it would be certainly erase whatever losses he has in the past if he can defeat Sergio Martinez.
Now, Sergio Martinez, Robert, he only had one fight in 2013. You brought this up to me. The fight is going to be pay-per-view. Now, a little surprising to me. We'll get to your take in just a moment. But Robert, what do you think about this being a pay-per-view fight that people have to pay to see?
I mean, a lot of fights are pay-per-view fights that one wouldn't consider pay-per-view worthy. This one is perhaps one of them, but I mean, Cotto is the main attraction here, and he's a big attraction, being that it is on Puerto Rican Day weekend. It's very, very possible that it will generate some revenue. And I know that with Sergio Martinez, he's made some money, but he hasn't made a lot of money, and this is an opportunity for him to make some money. So I'm in favor of it, even though it'll hurt my pocket.
Britton, agree or disagree? It should be or should not be a pay-per-view fight?
I absolutely agree. I think that once you reach a certain stature in your career, as long as you don't fall too far from, you know, the accolades that you've accomplished, I think that there's no sense in, you know, putting this on just a, you know, a regular telecast. Miguel Cotto obviously brings a huge Puerto Rican fan base. It's going to be during the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York. It's going to be a huge festive event.
And whatnot, yeah.
Exactly. And Sergio Martinez brings a large Argentinian fan base as well. So I don't see why this wouldn't be a pay-per-view fight.
Now, Martin Murray, certainly, in my opinion, did beat Sergio Martinez in Buenos Aires. He also, as I said, he fought one time, Sergio Martinez, this is, last year in 2013. He's coming off a ton of injuries. Could this be the resume-boosting win that he needs? Because he's 39 now. Happy birthday, Sergio Martinez.
Happy birthday.
He turned 39 today. Could this be the resume-boosting win to sort of turn the page on a rejuvenated Miguel Cotto?
There's so many different factors, so many different ways that the fight can go. If Miguel Cotto beats Sergio Martinez, he's definitely going to be looked at as a rejuvenated fighter, as a fighter who is not over the heel and ready for the next big challenge.
Now, Robert, Cotto is fighting, well, the max limit is 159. He's obviously moving up in weight to fight Sergio Martinez. Who would it be a better win for exactly? Because, I mean, Cotto certainly needs a big win after losing to Austin Trout. You know, losing to Mayweather, we'll give him a pass. Because as we know from one fan, Floyd Mayweather's the king. But who would it be a better win for? Would it be a better win for Martinez, who appears to be on the down, or would it be for Cotto, who certainly has Freddie Roach in his corner and has been looking better as of late?
I think Cotto has more left than Martinez. We've seen Martinez break down fight after fight after fight. As you pointed out, he's 39 years old, achieved great things in his career, but I mean, his career is sort of, you know, drawing to a close. Whereas, again, I think Cotto has more life in him, has more fights in him, has a bigger fan base, and hence has more appeal from, you know, the boxing structure, because again, he can generate more income than Martinez. So I think it would be a bigger fight for Cotto if he were to win.
Robert, you said that he has more life and more fight in him. How much of that credit do you give to Freddie Roach?
Well, Cotto has proven himself to be a really fine fighter, but as he has moved up in weight, he has proven himself to be a less fine fighter than he was at welter and at super welter. So, but again, having Freddie Roach is a valuable asset. But when the bell rings, it's going to be Miguel Cotto in there alone. And again, he's going up against Martinez. Martinez, getting old, breaking down, is a smart fighter and is a tough fighter, as he proves over and over and over again. I
know the obvious question that's going to come sooner or later is, who are we picking? And so I'm just kind of visualizing the fight in my head.
Yeah, what do you see?
I really feel like the fight depends on which Sergio Martinez shows up. If all of his surgeries have served him well and he still has a little bit of bounce in his step, as much as I like Miguel Cotto, I don't see him winning this fight. I can actually see the fight being stopped on cuts.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we do know how he does get cut and how his face. I mean, even in a winning fight, at the end he looks like the loser because he gets cut so easily.
A lot of orthodox fighters, because they don't have experience fighting southpaws, have problems fighting southpaws. We saw him, you know, eventually fall to Manny Pacquiao, the same way, that awkward style against Austin Trout, and I just don't see, I haven't seen a progression in him getting better. I hate to, you know, bring Floyd back into the mix, but people say he has problems with southpaws. Every time you see him fight a southpaw, he gets better. I haven't seen that with Miguel Cotto through his career.
Now, the big thing for me, we do know that Cotto likes to play the angles and he likes to switch from southpaw to orthodox and whatnot. The big question for me is, can Martinez catch him as he's coming in and unloading a velocity and ferocious punches to Martinez? For me, Cotto looks rejuvenated. He does look better under Freddie Roach. And
but who did he fight?
We saw against the Delvin Rodriguez. In the Delvin Rodriguez fight, it was a page-turning fight for me personally, to see that sort of confidence, to see him put away a bad loss. That was a horrible loss to Austin Trout that no one saw coming. So for me to see him go out there and just look like a rejuvenated fighter, a better fighter, a strong fighter, a confident fighter, that sometimes we don't see in Cotto, that was refreshing for me, to see a legend like that sort of come back down to earth after basically falling beneath the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Like I always say, boxing is a mental sport. He got that little bit of confidence that he needed to go into this fight and really feel like that he could take care of his business. But he fought Delvin Rodriguez, who stood straight up, let himself get backed up against the ropes, barely popped his jab. And of course, eventually you're fighting Miguel Cotto, who has one of the best left hooks in the game, either to the body or to the chin. And eventually you knew that he was going to chop him down with the way he was standing straight up.
Sure.
He's going to fight a Sergio Martinez, who is, what we know him for is being really quick on his feet, being able to cut angles, a good counter puncher, good jab. And, you know, when the question in my head pops up, can he stand under the Miguel Cotto pressure? Can he take the punches? I mean, even though he nullified most of the punches that Chavez Jr. threw, look at the punches, you know, when they were mixing it up sometimes. In
the 11th and 12th rounds.
No, I mean, before then, though.
When he was avoiding all those punches.
But my point is, his defense was good enough to avoid them.
Right.
That's my point.
Right.
But then that also brings into question, Freddie Roach was Chavez Jr.'s coach at the time. He told him during the fight, you have to punch with him and not wait for Sergio to stop punching and try and let off your hard punches, which is why we saw an 11th and 12th round the way that they ended up. So, you know, that's what makes the fight interesting. He's going to obviously tell Miguel Cotto, you can't wait on Sergio Martinez to pop his 3-4 punch combinations before you let your punches off.
Right.
You have to punch with him. The question is going to be, will that jab interrupt Miguel Cotto's his process? Because a good jab will stop you and make you reset. That's what we know about the jab, and that's why it's the #1 punch.
There is some controversy with this fight. According to some reports years ago, Martinez ran into Cotto at a TV studio in Mexico. Sergio reached for the handshake, and Cotto basically snubbed him. So Martinez has also been wanting to take this fight as well. Robert, what say you? Who do you think comes out on top? Well, actually, firstly, before you even answer that, I believe you indicated previously, but how much do you think Sergio has left in the tank? We talked about the surgeries and whatnot. He's 39 years old. He started boxing late because he was a tremendous soccer player, a great athlete as well. But how much does he actually have left?
The body will fade, but the intelligence isn't going to fade. I mean, his responses, his reaction time may slow, but that intelligence is not dissipating. That boxing intelligence is there. That's really why we're even talking about Sergio Martinez, because he has that incredible boxing intelligence in addition to power. So I don't know. I don't think that he is going to, I think this fight is going to hinge specifically on Sergio's body, whether or not he can take it the distance. But the person who's going to take the bulk of the punishment in this fight is going to be Cotto.
Ryan,
he's going to be...
Yeah, go ahead, Robert. Go ahead, finish up. Go ahead.
Okay. He's going to be eating punches. He's going to be taking punches. As Britton pointed out, I mean, the southpaw style of Martinez's fluidity, the way he uses the ring. I mean, Cotto is a sort of a come-forward, face-first fighter, which is perfect for Martinez. He's going to get cut up bad. He's going to eat a lot of leather. If Martinez doesn't fall apart in the latter rounds, I wouldn't be surprised if he were to be the victor in the end.
Ryan Phillips, by the way, tweeting at us, good for Cotto, taking a huge risk. Not many want to fight Martinez. Even in this late stage, many people still do not want to fight Sergio Martinez. It sort of goes into the career that Miguel Cotto has had. He hasn't really shied away from anyone. He's fought Manny Pacquiao. He's fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought... what's our man's name from Tijuana? Antonio Margarito twice. I mean, he's fought the premier fighters. It's refreshing to see once again. So let's get a final prediction. Britton, I believe you said it'll end on cuts in favor of Sergio Martinez.
I think that Miguel Cotto is just going to take a lot of leather, a lot of punishment on his way of trying to get inside and land those body shots to break Sergio down. And if he can't, like I said, it really depends on what Sergio shows up. Because if those legs are moving, I really don't give Cotto that much of a chance. If his legs are where we once saw them, if the surgeries have served him well. But if he stands flat-footed and tries to fight with Cotto, then that can make it a totally different fight.
I'd love to disagree with Britton, but I can't. His analysis was really sound. I agree with that. And again, unless Sergio's body breaks down in the latter rounds, I think this is his fight. This is his fight to lose, and I think he's going to emerge victorious.
Personally, for me, I like following the trends. I like thinking, who's on the up, who's on the down. And I mean, it's obvious that Cotto is on the up and Sergio is on the down as of right now because of his last fight against Martin Murray in Buenos Aires and with the surgeries and whatnot. I want to take Cotto. I really, really do. But with Britton's sound analysis and Robert also chiming in and agreeing, it's really hard for me to do that. Not because of necessarily what you guys said, but because I don't think that Cotto can necessarily hurt Sergio at this stage in the game.
And you know what?
That's the one thing that I can't come around to convince myself.
I think that is a very good point, and I'm glad you brought it up. I watched the Austin Trout-Miguel Cotto fight last night, and I think in Austin Trout's mind, the first 3 to 4 rounds, he was very tentative, fighting behind the jab and just, happy with, landing pitter-pat punches until he realized, I really don't have to worry about this man's power. No. He really can't hurt me. Either he can't get inside enough to hurt me, or his punches just aren't affecting me the way that the legend of Miguel Cotto's power would lead me to believe. And that's when he started to take a really dominant position in the fight. Now, I don't know, and this is why I suggested that maybe it's the weight class, but it doesn't seem like, unless you're standing right in front of Miguel Cotto and you're a stationary fighter, that he can get to you enough to, plant his feet and hurt you.
Robert Axel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com. You can follow him on Twitter at boxing_com, and follow his great writing at www.boxing.com. Robert, thank you so much again. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, Rick.
And also, you can follow Britton Harden on the Twitter at CoolAsBritton.